Good morning, fellow dragon fruit growers. This is Paul, and today I'm going to talk about potting soil. Now, all these plants here on my left, I've just replanted and transplanted them from various parts of the yard. And most are 2 to 3 years old. And take note of this one, Makisupa here, because it had really extensive roots that I had to chop off, but it's going to bounce back and do fine. And the reason why I had to change and move all these plants around is because my old potting soil had gone anaerobic and it didn't contain much oxygen, and it basically changed dramatically over the past 2 years, 2 to 3 years, and it really turned into garbage basically. So let me go show you why and what happened. So let's go check it out. Okay, so all of the white pots here are 2 to 3 years old now. You can see how Gruyo doesn't mind, but I'm still going to move that plant. But basically I've learned that ground up dead trees are bad for potting soil over time. Now this is Fox Farms Happy Frog, Fox Farms Ocean Forest, and Kellogg's Palm and Cactus mix. That's what I mixed together early on. You can see how much it's changed over time, and in my experience it's been anaerobic for some of the plants. So I'm never going to use those products unless I'm going to top dress with them now. So you can see here that some of the plants were pretty healthy, most likely because they had developed really extensive root systems. You can see all these little holes I drilled in this pot, how big the roots developed that came out of them. Look at this one. So this was Makisupa's home for 2 years, 2.5 years. Now San Ignacio, the same result. Really developed extensive root system that developed over time and came out of all these little holes. You can see down here, I just popped this over. So you can see there's actually some quite large extensive root system right here, or it was. So that's probably why they didn't seem to mind the soil that was putrefying. Now this has been a very slow growing physical graffiti, only one fruit. And it's finally looking better, probably because its roots have gotten out of this pot. Here's my favorite dark star, and it looks like garbage. And the soil's extremely dense, and it actually caused some rot on one of my sister cuttings of the mother plant here. You can see I removed it. But over time, it just really has kind of turned to not very good growing media in my experience. And again, this is why. Here are the products I was using. I don't have any Happy Frog, but again, look at the ingredients. It's aged forest products. That is what you do not want. Look at what percentage this is. So this adds some bad bacteria into your growing media. In my experience, I'm learning this. Also, here's Kellogg's Palm and Cactus mix. And again, look at that ingredient, recycled forest products. They don't even say the percentage, but stay away from this in my experience. Now, if you want some easy potting soil, you can get this. This is Gary's Best Top Pot. And I'm really liking it. I've heard other growers use it, especially growers of other tropical fruits. They say it's great stuff. So you can see here the ingredients. So you can make this yourself if you wanted to, but you can use up to about 30% sand in your growing media. It's going to be heavy though. But if you want to make something more custom, this is kind of what I'm working on. You can see what I'm using, some of these products. I really am on the fence. I like coconut coir, but I want to know more about it, what happens to it over time. But I like how it would raise the pH of your peat moss here. This is peat moss. And I finally sourced some really nice biochar. Look at this beautiful stuff. And the more I learn about biochar and charcoal, it's really good stuff for your growing media. And so I use plenty of other things, some vermiculite, pumice, perlite, decomposed granite, sand. Probably should add more sand to this. But this is what my mixture is looking like these days. It's not quite mixed up there. And I may, or I will, be using some coconut coir to compare the differences. But definitely, in my humble opinion, stay away from those recycled forest products because you're just in for trouble. And something like Gary's Top Pot, or making your own custom mix with some of these ingredients, especially sand, perlite, pumice, peat moss, just watch out, it can get acidic, and you're gonna have much happier plants. So there you go. Give us a like and a subscribe. Thanks for your time. Have a wonderful day. Take care.